Why do some people naturally draw others to them while others seem to struggle, no matter how hard they try? You've probably asked yourself this, especially when you can't stop thinking about someone or when a relationship that once felt alive has cooled. Maybe you've fallen into the trap of chasing, over-explaining, or trying too hard to prove your worth. Sound familiar? It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the good news. The answer doesn't lie in trying harder, it lies in trying smarter. Instead of chasing someone else's love, you must master the love you have for yourself. This isn't about playing games or following manipulative tactics. It's about stepping into your own power and letting the principles of Stoicism guide your path. Think about it. What makes someone truly magnetic? It's not desperation or availability. It's confidence, emotional control, and independence, the very virtues that Stoic philosophy teaches us to embody. The ancient Stoics mastered the art of self-mastery, enduring life's chaos with calm and poise. What if you could apply these timeless lessons to your relationships and create a natural pull where people are drawn to you simply because of who you are? Stick around, because we're about to unravel 7 powerful Stoic tactics to help you make them fall in love with you. And here's the twist. The most exciting principle lies at the end, a game changer that ties everything together. Ready to transform not just your relationships but yourself. Let's begin with the foundation of it all. Embracing authenticity. 1. Embrace authenticity. What does it mean to truly be yourself? This is a question worth sitting with, especially when navigating relationships. So often, people feel tempted to put on a mask, thinking that presenting a perfect version of themselves will win someone's heart. But what happens when that facade inevitably cracks? When you build connections on anything less than authenticity, they crumble. Authenticity isn't just about being honest, it's about being unapologetically real. Imagine this. You meet someone new, and instead of saying what you think they want to hear, you share your genuine thoughts. You speak from your truth, not from a script. Wouldn't that feel freeing? And here's the beauty of it. When you're authentic, you allow others to connect with the real you. You become someone they can trust, admire, and genuinely love because there's no guessing, no games. But why is it so hard to be authentic? For many, it's fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. The Stoics, however, teach us that our worth is not dictated by others' opinions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop worrying about how you're perceived and focus instead on embodying your values. When you live authentically, you not only stand out, but you also find peace in knowing that those who are drawn to you are seeing the real you. Authenticity doesn't mean being perfect. In fact, showing your flaws can be one of the most attractive things you do. Have you ever noticed how someone who embraces their imperfections seems more approachable, more human? When you stop trying to hide your quirks and instead celebrate them, you create a space where others feel safe to do the same. This brings us to an important question. Are you living authentically, or are you adjusting yourself to fit someone else's expectations? Reflect on the areas in your life where you might be holding back. Are you dimming your light to make someone else comfortable? Are you pretending to be interested in things that don't align with your passions? The first step to making someone fall in love with you is to love yourself enough to show up as you are. Consider this. Authenticity is a mirror. When you're real, you encourage others to be real too. Relationships built on this foundation are not only more meaningful, but also far more resilient. So the next time you feel the urge to tweak your personality to fit someone else's ideal, ask yourself, would you rather be loved for who you are or for who you're pretending to be? In the world of Stoicism, authenticity is power. It's the courage to face life as you are, unfiltered and unshaken by external pressures. And when you exude this kind of confidence, it's magnetic. People will be drawn to you, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're comfortable in your own skin. So let's close with this reflection. Are you ready to step into your truth? The journey starts with letting go of the need for approval and embracing your unique essence. When you do, something remarkable happens. Those who truly matter will naturally gravitate toward you, and you'll realize you never needed to try so hard after all. Now that we've laid the foundation of authenticity, let's explore the next Stoic principle. Cultivating independence. How can you balance being emotionally available while staying rooted in your own power? The answer lies ahead. 2. Cultivate Stoic independence. What does it mean to be truly independent in a relationship? For many, independence is misunderstood as detachment or isolation, but Stoicism offers a much deeper perspective. True independence isn't about cutting people off or pretending you don't care. It's about knowing that your happiness, worth, and peace come from within, not from someone else. This emotional self-sufficiency is not only freeing, but it's also one of the most attractive qualities you can embody. Take a moment to ask yourself, how much of your emotional well-being is tied to someone else's actions? Do you find yourself anxiously waiting for their texts, rearranging your schedule to prioritize them, or seeking constant validation from their attention? If so, you're handing over your power. The Stoics teach us to keep this power firmly within ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine living with the quiet confidence of knowing that no matter what someone else does, you are unshaken because your happiness is rooted in your own life. This is Stoic independence. It's not about withholding affection or acting disinterested. It's about maintaining your inner balance, whether or not someone else is actively showing you attention. Here's the paradox. When you stop making someone the center of your universe, they're more likely to be drawn to you. Why? Because independence signals strength. When you're thriving in your own life, pursuing your passions, maintaining strong relationships outside of your romantic interests, and growing as an individual, you send a clear message. I am whole as I am, and that confidence is magnetic. Now you might wonder, won't pulling back push them away? Won't they think I'm uninterested? The truth is, healthy independence doesn't push people away, it creates a natural pull. When you stop chasing someone and instead focus on your own growth, you give them space to appreciate your worth. Desperation pushes people away, but self-mastery draws them closer. Picture this scenario. Everyone else is constantly vying for their attention, texting nonstop, and overcommitting themselves. You, on the other hand, are living your life with purpose. Maybe you're working on your fitness, catching up with friends, or dedicating time to your career. When you're not overly available, you stand out. People are naturally intrigued by those who value their own time and energy. Even in an established relationship, Stoic independence is crucial. It's easy to lose yourself in a partnership, but maintaining your individuality keeps the connection alive. When you continue to grow, pursue your interests, and nurture your own goals, you become a person your partner can continually admire. They're reminded that you're not reliant on them for your happiness, you choose to share it with them. But here's the catch. Independence doesn't mean cutting off communication or disappearing entirely. It's about balance. You're present and engaged, but you're not overextending yourself. When you lean into your independence, you're saying, I'm here because I want to be, not because I need to be. That distinction creates respect and admiration. So how do you start cultivating Stoic independence? The first step is to fill your own cup. Invest in your passions, friendships, and personal growth. Make your life so full that whether someone is actively giving you attention or not, you're thriving. When you prioritize yourself, you create a foundation of stability that makes you irresistible to others. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about genuinely being hard to get because your life is rich and purposeful. Reflect on this. Are you chasing someone's approval at the expense of your own peace? If so, it's time to reclaim your power. Start small. Take an hour today to do something just for you, read a book, hit the gym, or dive into a creative project. Notice how it feels to focus on yourself instead of someone else. This is where independence begins. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste your time chasing someone who should be rising to meet you. Instead, build a life so fulfilling that they're naturally drawn to your energy. Before we move on to the next Stoic tactic, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one way you plan to cultivate independence in your life starting today. Let's inspire each other to step into our power. And if this resonates with you, give this video a thumbs up to let me know you're ready to own your independence. Stay tuned, because next we'll discuss the magic of emotional stability, a game changer for both new connections and established relationships. 3. Demonstrate emotional stability. What happens when things don't go your way in a relationship? Perhaps they take hours or days to respond to your message. Maybe they cancel plans last minute or say something that unintentionally hits a nerve. How do you react? For many, the instinct is to panic, overanalyze, or let emotions take over. But the Stoics teach us something profound. Emotional stability is the cornerstone of resilience, respect, and attraction. Emotional stability doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending you're unaffected. It means acknowledging your emotions without letting them control your actions. Picture a calm sea, even when the wind is strong. That's the power of a stable mind. It remains steady even when external events create waves. Seneca wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is especially true in relationships. Imagine someone who remains composed in the face of challenges, who listens instead of lashing out, and who navigates conflicts with patience and understanding. Isn't that someone you'd want to be around? That's the effect emotional stability has. It creates trust and admiration. Let's explore how this looks in real life. Suppose you're trying to connect with someone new. Early on, they don't text back as quickly as you'd like, or they seem distant. Most people would jump to conclusions. Are they losing interest? Did I do something wrong? The temptation is to send another message, ask for reassurance, or start overthinking the situation. But what if, instead, you paused? What if you reminded yourself that their actions are not a reflection of your worth? By staying calm, you avoid spiraling into anxiety and maintain your dignity. Your response, or lack of overreaction, signals confidence. You're showing that you're secure enough in yourself to not need constant validation. This calm energy is magnetic. It invites curiosity and respect. Now consider an established relationship. Maybe you've hit a rough patch or had a disagreement. Emotional stability means not letting the heat of the moment dictate your words or actions. It's easy to react impulsively, to say something hurtful, or escalate the situation out of frustration. But imagine the impact of responding differently. Instead of shouting or shutting down, you take a deep breath, listen to understand, and approach the issue thoughtfully. Your steadiness diffuses tension and sets the stage for productive communication. This isn't about bottling up your emotions, it's about giving yourself the space to process them before acting. The Stoics believed in the power of the pause. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That pause allows you to regain control over your mind and choose a response that aligns with your values. But what about the moments when emotions feel overwhelming? Even the most stable minds can struggle. In these times, small practices can make a big difference. Step away from the situation. Take a walk. Write down your thoughts. Give yourself the opportunity to reflect before engaging. These moments of self-control can transform how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. One of the most challenging aspects of emotional stability is resisting the urge to take things personally. Often we assume that someone's actions are a direct reflection of their feelings toward us. But in reality, their behavior often has more to do with their own circumstances than anything you've done. The next time someone seems distant or irritable, instead of reacting defensively, ask yourself, could this have nothing to do with me? When you separate your emotions from their actions, you gain clarity. You're no longer weighed down by assumptions or insecurities. This doesn't mean you ignore patterns of disrespect or neglect, but it does mean you approach situations with reason rather than reactivity. In relationships, emotional stability also inspires confidence. Your partner or the person you're interested in knows they can rely on you, even during tough times. They don't have to tiptoe around your emotions or fear that a small misstep will lead to an outburst. Instead, they see you as a steady, reliable presence, someone who can weather life's storms with grace. Emotional stability is a practice, not a perfection. There will be moments when your emotions get the better of you, and that's okay. The key is to recognize these moments as opportunities for growth. Each time you pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, you strengthen your emotional resilience. Over time, this becomes second nature, transforming not only your relationships but also your sense of self. As we transition to the next Stoic tactic, consider this. What would your relationships look like if you brought emotional stability into every interaction? How would they change if you remained calm in the face of challenges, choosing reason over reaction? These are questions worth sitting with, as they hold the key to building connections that thrive under any circumstance. Next, we'll explore how to master communication with a less is more approach, a subtle yet powerful way to create intrigue, and connection. Stay with me, this next principle could completely change how you interact with others. 4. Master communication, less is more. Have you ever noticed how silence can speak louder than words? In our modern world of constant notifications, endless messages, and instant replies, the value of intentional communication is often lost. Yet, in relationships, mastering the art of saying less can create a powerful sense of intrigue and respect. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply, emphasizing the importance of thoughtful and deliberate communication. Epictetus once remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This wisdom applies not only to listening but also to how we approach communication as a whole. When you flood someone with messages, updates, and constant conversation, you may think you're showing interest, but often it overwhelms and diminishes the connection. On the other hand, when you speak or text with intention, you leave space for curiosity, for reflection, and for connection to deepen. Let's start with what not to do. Imagine you've just met someone new, and you're excited about building a connection. The natural instinct for many is to text frequently, maybe even excessively. You ask questions, share your thoughts, and check in often. While your intentions may be good, this kind of constant communication can send an unintended message. I'm anxious for your attention. When communication becomes relentless, it can feel less like a conversation and more like an obligation for the other person. Now picture a different approach. Instead of rushing to fill every silence, you communicate with restraint. You send thoughtful messages that add value to the conversation, and then you let the conversation breathe. By not immediately replying or trying to keep the dialogue flowing nonstop, you create a sense of anticipation. The other person begins to wonder, what are they doing? Why aren't they constantly available? This isn't about playing games, it's about respecting both your time and theirs. It's about understanding that quality always outweighs quantity in communication. When you speak or write with purpose, your words carry more weight. You become someone whose messages are worth waiting for, not because you're withholding, but because you've built a habit of meaningful interaction. This approach doesn't only apply to new relationships, it's equally transformative in established ones. Perhaps you're in a relationship where communication has become routine, even stale. The knee-jerk reaction might be to talk more, to fill the space with words in an attempt to rekindle the connection. But the less is more principle offers a different path. Instead of flooding the relationship with constant updates or surface-level chatter, focus on making your communication intentional. Say things that matter. Ask questions that show you care. Share moments that carry meaning. Consider this. When was the last time you left room for silence in your interactions? Silence isn't something to fear. It's an essential part of communication. It gives the other person space to reflect, to miss you, and to feel the impact of your words. In many ways, silence is the punctuation that gives meaning to the sentences of our conversations. But what about the fear of being misunderstood? Doesn't silence or saying less risk creating distance? Not necessarily. When used wisely, it creates a dynamic where your presence and your communication are appreciated more deeply. It shifts the balance from over-communicating to creating intrigue. When someone doesn't have constant access to your thoughts, they're more likely to value the moments when you do share. This is especially powerful when paired with the confidence Stoicism teaches. The Stoics believed in focusing on what is within your control, and that includes your communication. You cannot control how someone will respond to you or how quickly they will reply, but you can control the quality of what you say and the calmness with which you approach the silence that follows. Imagine this in practice. You're messaging someone you're interested in. Instead of firing off back-to-back texts or over-explaining yourself, you send a single thoughtful message and then wait. You trust that your words carry enough weight to spark curiosity and interest. You don't check your phone obsessively or feel the need to fill the gap with more messages. This patience speaks volumes about your confidence and emotional stability. In established relationships, the same principle can repair and strengthen connections. Let's say you've had an argument. Instead of sending long emotional texts trying to justify yourself or seek immediate resolution, you take a step back. You give the other person space to process, and when you do reach out, it's with clarity and purpose. This restraint shows maturity and respect for the emotional rhythm of the relationship. At its core, the less is more approach to communication is about trust. Trust in yourself, in the strength of your words, and in the connection you're building. It requires patience and a willingness to let the other person come to you, rather than trying to pull them closer with sheer volume. It's a practice of confidence, rooted in the Stoic principle of self-mastery. As we move forward, think about this. How would your relationships change if you spoke less but with greater intention? How might the space you create through silence allow for deeper connection and understanding? In the next section, we'll explore the importance of leading a full, purpose-driven life, another essential component of attraction that goes hand in hand with mastering communication. Stay with me because this next principle is where the power of Stoicism truly comes alive. 5. Build a full, purpose-driven life. What makes someone irresistible? It's not just about how they look or what they say. It's the life they lead. A life filled with purpose, passion, and growth naturally draws others in. When your days are rich with meaningful activities, you exude an energy that's magnetic. The Stoics believed deeply in living with intention, in pursuing goals and passions that aligned with their values. This principle, when applied to relationships, is a game changer. Ask yourself, what does your life look like when no one else is watching? Are you excited to wake up in the morning? Or are you merely going through the motions, waiting for someone else to bring excitement into your world? If you're not living a full life, how can you expect to inspire others to join you on your journey? As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The same is true for the quality of your actions. Here's the truth. No one is drawn to someone who's just waiting around for attention. When your life is busy, not in a chaotic way, but in a purposeful, fulfilling way, you naturally set yourself apart. You show that you don't need someone to complete you because you're already whole. And this confidence in your independence creates intrigue. People want to be part of something vibrant, and a life lived with intention is exactly that. So how do you build a life worth falling in love with? Start by reflecting on what genuinely excites and fulfills you. What hobbies have you set aside? What goals have you been procrastinating on? Maybe it's time to pick up that guitar collecting dust in the corner, dive deeper into your career ambitions, or reconnect with old friends. Whatever it is, make it something that brings you joy and pushes you to grow. The irony is that the less you focus on trying to attract someone, the more you attract them. Think about it. When you're busy pursuing your passions, you don't have time to chase after someone else's attention. This natural scarcity makes your time and energy more valuable. Imagine this scenario. While others are anxiously waiting for a text back, you're out exploring a new skill, building your career, or hitting the gym. Not only does this set you apart, but it also makes your time together more meaningful because you bring depth and energy to the relationship. Even in an established relationship, maintaining your individuality is crucial. Too often, people lose themselves in their partners, forgetting their own goals and passions. But when you continue to evolve and grow, you keep the relationship alive. Your partner sees that you're someone who's constantly moving forward, someone who inspires them to do the same. This creates a dynamic of mutual respect and admiration, keeping the connection fresh and exciting. However, there's a fine line here. Building a purposeful life isn't about filling your schedule with meaningless activities to appear busy. It's about investing your time and energy into things that genuinely matter to you. The Stoics emphasized living in alignment with your values, focusing on what truly enriches your life. As Seneca wrote, It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste your energy chasing after someone else's approval. Instead, chase your own goals and watch how that changes the dynamic. So how can you start? Begin with small, intentional steps. Commit to trying one new activity this week or dedicating time to a goal you've been neglecting. As you build momentum, you'll notice a shift, not just in how you feel about yourself, but in how others respond to you. Your energy will be different, confident, fulfilled, and irresistible. Now, let's make this actionable. In the comments below, share one passion or goal you're going to focus on this week. Is it learning something new, reconnecting with a hobby, or taking a step toward a long-term dream? Let's inspire each other to build lives full of purpose and meaning. And if this idea resonates with you, hit that like button to let me know you're ready to step into your power. In the next section, we'll talk about the delicate balance of being present without being clingy, a skill that can transform how others perceive and value you. It's the perfect complement to leading a purposeful life, so don't miss it. 6. Be present, not clingy. What does it mean to truly be present in a relationship? It's about showing up with your full attention, engaging with sincerity, and making the other person feel valued. But here's the catch. Being present is not the same as being clingy. Striking this balance is essential, as overstepping into neediness can quickly push people away. Why is this distinction so important? When you're fully present, you enhance the connection by showing genuine interest and involvement. You listen, respond thoughtfully, and create moments of real intimacy. However, when presence turns into constant checking in, excessive texting, or overanalyzing every interaction, it sends a signal of insecurity. Instead of enhancing the connection, it creates pressure, a dynamic that often leads to the other person pulling away. Imagine meeting someone new. The excitement of a budding connection can sometimes blur the lines between presence and clinginess. You might find yourself tempted to message them frequently just to ensure the connection stays alive. But what if, instead, you slowed down? What if you allowed the relationship to unfold naturally, giving them the space to reach out to you as well? This patience, rooted in confidence, makes you stand out. You're not trying to force a bond, you're allowing it to develop on its own terms. In established relationships, this balance is just as crucial. It's natural to want to spend time with your partner and maintain a strong connection. However, too much reliance on constant interaction can lead to feelings of suffocation. On the other hand, showing presence without clinging fosters trust and admiration. It tells your partner, I value our time together, but I also respect your independence. The Stoics had a clear understanding of this principle. They believed in valuing the present moment while avoiding anxious dependence on outcomes. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you're present without being clingy, you embrace this wisdom. You create an environment where the other person feels both appreciated and free. But how do you achieve this balance in practice? It starts with being mindful of your actions and intentions. When you're with someone, whether in person or through conversation, focus entirely on the moment. Put away distractions, listen deeply, and respond with thoughtfulness. Let them feel that your attention is a gift, not something divided or forced. At the same time, resist the urge to constantly seek reassurance. If they're busy or unavailable, don't take it as a personal slight. Trust in the strength of the connection you're building. Remember, presence is about adding value to their life, not taking away their freedom. For example, if you find yourself waiting for a text response, resist the impulse to send follow-up messages. Instead, redirect that energy towards something fulfilling in your own life. This doesn't mean ignoring them or withholding affection. It means creating a rhythm where you give them the space to appreciate your presence. Another key to avoiding clinginess is maintaining healthy boundaries. Boundaries don't just protect your independence, they also protect the relationship. They show that you respect both your time and theirs. When you're clear about your needs and respect theirs in return, it creates a dynamic of mutual understanding and admiration. Think of it like this. A well-tuned guitar produces beautiful music because of the tension between its strings. Too loose, and the sound is flat. Too tight, and the string might break. Relationships function in a similar way. The balance between closeness and space is what creates harmony. If you're unsure whether you're crossing into clinginess, pause and ask yourself, am I acting out of confidence or fear? Confidence allows you to give without needing constant reciprocation. Fear, on the other hand, drives you to seek validation or reassurance. By recognizing the root of your actions, you can adjust your approach to align with the balance you want to create. Ultimately, being present without being clingy is about trust, trusting yourself, the connection, and the other person. It's a quiet confidence that says, I'm here and I value our time together, but I don't need constant interaction to feel secure. This balance allows the relationship to grow naturally, built on respect and mutual desire rather than pressure or obligation. As we move into the final section, consider how this principle can complement the next Stoic tactic: mastering your presence on social media. In a digital age, the way you show up online can make or break how others perceive you. Let's explore how to navigate this modern challenge with the wisdom of Stoicism. 7. Master your social media presence. In today's world, relationships aren't just built in person, they extend into the digital space. Social media can amplify connection, but it can also create confusion, insecurity, and even distance. Mastering your presence online is about finding balance, creating intrigue, and maintaining dignity. It's an extension of Stoic principles: self-control, intention, and authenticity. Ask yourself, how do you currently use social media? Are you oversharing every detail of your life, hoping someone will notice? Are you compulsively liking or commenting on their posts to stay on their radar? Or do you scroll endlessly, comparing your life to carefully curated images of others? These habits can erode your sense of self-worth and unintentionally project insecurity. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Don't wish to seem knowledgeable." When applied to social media, this means resisting the urge to broadcast every moment of your life or to seek validation through likes and comments. Your value doesn't lie in how often you post or how others perceive your online persona. Instead, it lies in the richness of the life you're living offline. So how do you use social media intentionally? Start by being selective about what you share. Your post should reflect your authentic self, not a performance designed to impress. Share moments that matter to you, achievements, passions, or simple joys, but don't feel the need to document every aspect of your day. The less you reveal, the more intrigue you create. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully see. This doesn't mean disappearing from social media entirely. It's about maintaining presence without overexposure. For example, instead of constantly liking or commenting on someone's posts, engage thoughtfully. A single, meaningful comment or interaction carries far more weight than a flurry of superficial ones. By being intentional, you show that your attention is valuable and not given away lightly. Another important aspect of mastering social media is avoiding emotional overreactions. It's easy to misinterpret someone's online behavior. Perhaps they didn't like your post, or they interacted with someone else's content instead. These moments can trigger insecurity, leading to impulsive actions like passive-aggressive posts or attempts to get their attention. Resist this urge. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Their online behavior is outside your control. Your reaction is not. In relationships, social media should enhance connection, not replace it. For example, sharing happy moments together is fine, but turning your profile into a highlight reel of your relationship can backfire. It creates unnecessary pressure and leaves little room for private intimacy. Some moments are best kept between you and your partner, unfiltered and untouched by an audience. Finally, consider the role of curiosity. When you don't overshare or flood someone's feed with your presence, you leave space for them to wonder about you. This intrigue is powerful. They'll check your profile, not because you're constantly posting, but because you're not. It's a quiet way of saying, I'm living my life fully, and you're welcome to join me when the time is right. Let's reflect. What does your social media say about you? Is it an authentic reflection of your life, or a curated version of what you think others want to see? By aligning your online presence with your true self, you not only attract the right kind of attention but also build connections that are grounded in reality. As we wrap up, let's tie all these principles together. From authenticity to emotional stability, independence to purposeful living, every Stoic tactic we've explored points to the same truth. You are your greatest asset. When you live with confidence, balance, and intention, you naturally draw others toward you, not through manipulation, but through the quiet power of self-mastery. Remember, love isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming the best version of yourself. And Stoicism provides the tools to make that transformation. So take these lessons to heart and let them guide you not only in relationships, but in every aspect of your life. What if the key to love wasn't about finding the right person or saying the perfect words, but about becoming the best version of yourself? This journey through Stoic principles, authenticity, independence, emotional stability, purposeful living, balanced presence, intentional communication, and social media mastery has shown that attraction starts with self-mastery. It's not about playing games or manipulating someone's feelings. It's about stepping into your power and letting others be drawn to your strength and purpose. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control others, only ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The same is true in relationships. By focusing on your own growth, you cultivate an energy that others cannot help but notice. You create connections that are genuine, respectful, and lasting. The beauty of these principles is that they don't just help you attract someone, they help you become someone worth loving. And when you fully embrace this mindset, you find peace in knowing that the right person will be drawn to you for who you truly are. Before we part ways, I'd like to leave you with a challenge. Reflect on the lessons in this video and ask yourself, which one resonates with you the most? What small step can you take today to align with the person you want to become? Growth doesn't happen all at once, but with consistent effort, you'll notice the transformation in your relationships and, more importantly, in yourself. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments which Stoic principle you're excited to implement in your life. Did something resonate deeply with you? Or perhaps you've already seen the power of Stoicism in action? Let's keep this conversation going and inspire one another to grow. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like it and subscribe for more insights rooted in timeless wisdom. And if you know someone who could benefit from these principles, share this video with them. It could be the spark they need to change their approach to relationships. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, you are already enough. And by embracing these Stoic tactics, you'll only grow stronger, more confident, and more magnetic. Stay true to yourself, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and live with purpose.